Okay, hi. So let me five people here. That's fun. Hi, five people. Okay, so let's just take a moment. I'm Amber Adrian, by the way. I presume you know that, just in case. I'm on many, many, many things. But I do a lot of energy healing, and I'm really excited to do this with you. These can be really, really powerful. So if you have a specific intention or specific desire that you're playing with right now or have for this meditation, please feel free to just hold that and keep that in your heart, because your intention and decision is incredibly powerful. So that being said, let's dive in and see what wants to come through. Basically, I'll be channeling this for you and for whoever watches later. And if you are watching this later, it's just as good. The energy really, really comes through regardless. So, because time and space, not a thing, as it turns out. Okay, so the energy the past few days has been a bit emotional, possibly triggered. You might be really feeling the collective. You might be feeling your old wounds come up. I've certainly had a battery of old things rising to the surface, and it's really perfect, because as it comes up, even if it's something we thought we dealt with years ago, we can really make sure that that we've kind of taken what we need to from it, because of course all of these triggers and feelings and old wounds are simply trying to point us in the direction of our growth, of our highest good, of what we're here to do and experience. And so there's something very valuable in each of those triggers, each of those wounds, each of those emotions that pop in, possibly at really unfortunate times, like at dinner, when you're in public and crying. But hey, it happens. I think there's great power in crying in public, actually. It not only keeps you from from suppressing, taking those emotions and like stuffing them into your spleen, until hopefully, it dies. It doesn't. It doesn't die. It just comes back later and angrier. But it also, kind of, it shows other people that it's okay to have feelings. It's okay to feel your feelings. So anyway, that was a bit of a tangent on crying in public. So let's begin. And if you have any, if you want to let me know who you are, I can't tell who's here. Or if you have any questions about anything I say, because we'll be diving into some of this Ascension stuff. And, my experience with the Ascension is that it's best for me not to know. In my brain, it's better for me to just feel through the experience, trust the experience, and surrender to the experience. There are a lot of other channels that talk about what's actually going on in the energy and just in this whole process. But oh, hi, Liv. In this whole process, but it's for me, it feels better, and the way it comes through my channel is to just be present with what is, and take what I can from what does show up. So let's just feel yourself in your body. Feel yourself in this human avatar. Feel yourself in your vehicle in this world. And your body, your body isn't just a car that you're driving around. Your body has so much wisdom for you. It has so much healing for you. It has so much knowledge for you. It supports us. It helps us connect. It's really, really a phenomenal experience being in a body. But so many of us are very sensitive, and especially when the energy is as big as it is right now, we will maybe jump out of our bodies a little bit, and that diminishes our power, because of course you are an extraordinarily powerful creature. You have all the power of the divine. because you are divine. You are your own unique encoding of that divine source, of that, very pure love. You are that. And you are already whole and healed. I call this a healing, and we will be, smoothing out the human experience, smoothing out the energy. Or, it's possible that this could bring some things up for you. So just be in that experience, allow that to process, allow yourself to see and to feel without making it mean anything, without letting your brain get all mucking up in the process. Um, and that's very hard. Like, I've spent many, many years teaching myself how to do that, and I'm still not super great at it, I have to admit, but it's possible. People do it. And what's really helpful is when your brain does get involved, when your thoughts start churning, just take all of those thoughts and drop them straight into your heart. If you have fear moving in your belly, funnel that through your heart. Just keep all of that energy and those thoughts moving through your heart, and that will help immensely. That is one of the best tools right now, because we are going through so many heart activations, so many heart openings. Because one of the biggest pieces of this ascension process is that we're learning how to live through our hearts after lifetimes of living through our head. And our brain does not have the answers for us. Your higher self has your answers, your heart has your answers. And I know that can sound a little trite. Your heart has your answers, but your heart it's an energy. It's Many of us connect with our heart through our brains, and then really we're listening to our brain, we're not listening to our heart. But when you really start to drop all of that energy into your heart and really feel your heart beat, feel it beat in your chest, feel the energy of your heart moving through your energy, that can clear you of other people's stuff that you've sponged up, that can remind you that you are in a physical body, and all of your power is here. When we are fully in the present moment and fully landed in our bodies, we can create anything. We can experience, true peace and love from the present moment. It's so easy to kind of jump back and forth between, things we're thinking about from the past, things we're worried about in the future, and that doesn't serve us. And as a champion warrior, I mean, if they had Olympics in this, I would definitely at least have a silver medal. I know that's not easy, but as we, really, really ground back into this present moment, this one right here, the one where you are looking at me through your computer screen, and experiencing whatever else in your environment is happening. This is the moment where you can create a whole new future for yourself if you want. You can, from this moment, release anything that doesn't feel good, that doesn't serve you, and call in the feelings that do. The you know and of course, we create from our feelings. So when you feel into, that love you have, that's like pulsing through your being, and the more we kind of clear away these layers, the stronger that is, the easier it is to connect to that. Which is why so many of us right now, this is a big part of the ascension process, but this is why so many of us are experiencing kind of, or have been experiencing for the past many years, tough things, whether it's death or sickness or abuse, or whatever it is that's showing up in our experience. That is something that we designed with our higher selves to, I call it the cracking open event, because as you heal from whatever that thing was, or number of things were, you clear space for joy, for peace, for freedom. You really are prompted very firmly into this process. And so if a lot has happened to you over the past 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, and you're wondering why it, you know it's often part of this process. It cracks us open. And when we are cracked open, our light just starts to blaze out. So that was a lot of talking when I planned to have us ground in and do a meditation. So yeah, just feel your heartbeat. Feel yourself like in your chair. You can move around a little bit if that feels good. Maybe arch and flex your spine a little bit. Move back and forth. Feel any cracks or pops. You might want to, oh God, move your neck. Mine is very tight. And like feel those cracks and pops. Might want to roll your shoulders. And then just, yeah, feel yourself in your body. Feel your butt in your chair or your back supported by the bed or the floor if you happen to be lying down. And from here, take a few deep breaths, knowing that your breath will bring you immediately back into the present. Your breath will remind you of the truth. Your breath will connect you in with your own wise voice. So if you're feeling triggered or emotional or your thoughts are careening out of control, just return to your breath. Then from here, imagine the base of your neck right here, this point right here. And imagine that there is a golden ball of light in the base of your neck. It unfurls into a cord of light down your spine, activating each of your chakras, clearing them, healing them if needed, balancing them. And this cord of light moves down through your tailbone, down your legs, through your feet, and into the earth. All the way down into the core of the new earth. New earth is the current earth. We're not going anywhere. The new earth is the current earth. But she's just in a higher dimension. And what that means is, I'm not going to claim I know what that means, honestly, but my understanding of what that means is that she is vibrating, the earth is vibrating at a level that does not allow for the kind of fear and tension and duality that we are used to living in as a planet, as humans. She's actually in she lives in multiple dimensions, and so many people on earth are still living on this sort of 3D earth where they still experience that fear and tension and worry and pain. And but then we can step out of that energy now. We can step out of that pain. We can step out of that fear. We can step out of that experience, that other, not better, not worse, that other dimensional experience. And we can step into the energy of the earth. We can step into that dimension of the earth where we live in love. We live through our hearts. We live in abundance. We live in peace. We live in freedom. We are supported. And that is so powerful and so exciting to know that that is possible, and it's possible for all of us. And if you're here, if you're with me here watching this video, whenever you're watching it, it means that you are helping the whole planet, everybody here, move into that space of it's a different energy. It's a lighter energy. It's an easier energy. It's a far more supportive for humans and for life energy, because of course when we feel stable, when we feel peaceful, when we feel loving, when we feel free, when we feel supported and abundant, and I'm probably repeating my words now, but that's when we can really do what we're here to do. We can create in the way we want to create. We can just really live in something very beautiful and very powerful. And so if it doesn't feel like that's where you are now, that's perfect. You are following your own path. You are on your way. If you are here, you are hot on that trail. And so it's real, that's when it becomes about trust and surrender and living, through our heart and in our bodies and in just a space of trust that all is working out perfectly and in the perfect timing. And ironically, living in that space of love and trust, even when it still feels like we're very much admired in the 3D experience, living from that space of love, that shifts the energy around us. That it doesn't bring us up, like I don't want to use that kind of duality, but it shifts us into that other frequency where this ascension is, where it's already happened, and it has already happened. We're just on some level kind of catching up. So as you feel that grounding cord of light connecting with the earth in her 5D frequency, in her ascended frequency, in that frequency of love, support, joy, freedom, abundance. I'm going to say love again. You might feel it. You might physically feel that support of the earth. And from there, return to a little ball of light in the base of your skull and feel another cord of light extend, filling your brain with golden light, moving up through your crown chakra, up through the top of your skull, and moving up to connect with your higher self. As you connect with your higher self, you can ask your higher self if it can come into your body now, if you can be living fully as your higher self in this human body. And of course, your higher self has all the answers you will ever need. It knows exactly how to heal you physically, emotionally, energetically. Your higher self really is the true you, is you in your wisest form. This is the human me. This is like the amber me. But my higher self has everything I need, and your higher self does too. So when you connect with that cord of light to your higher self, you can feel that love your higher self has for you. You can feel that guidance. You can ask for help. You can ask for what you need, what you want. And if you like, you can sort of imagine bringing your higher self down into your human body by tugging on that cord of light, like it was a helium, like your higher self is a helium balloon on the ceiling. You're sort of tugging the cord down until your higher self, maybe it's a unicorn balloon, maybe it's a big happy face balloon, whatever it is, until you feel that balloon in front of you, your higher self coming into your body. If you feel this, just notice what that experience is. Notice how you feel a little bit different in your body. Notice how the energy feels different. If you don't feel anything, that's perfect too. Doesn't mean it's not happening. It just means that maybe it's happening in a different way for you. We all feel and experience things differently. And sometimes when we ask for guidance and feel like we don't get it, we actually have received it. It's just working below the level of our brain. It's working in our subconscious because maybe it's not time for our brain to have that information. Maybe, our brain would just get in the way. Honestly, when we're working with our higher selves and our guides, we are, they often bypass our brain because our brain just makes everything go slower. Not always, not for everybody, but for me. Possibly you too. Our brains can get in the way a little bit. So sometimes they just bypass our brain completely, which I think is why I don't receive as much information about the actual, mechanics of the ascension process. I receive kind of my channel, my own specific version. So, so now that we are connected, let's see what wants to come through. I'm gonna have some tea because I've been talking. Mm, okay. Okay, so there's a healing, or let's call it energy work, energy play. Because again, we are all whole and healed. We are all whole and healed. So it's more about smoothing out our experience and helping us, do what we came here to do in this somewhat more limited form than perhaps we're used to. So there's energy moving through. Okay, so first the energy, and it feels like this is Archangel Michael working with our energy to first he's created a space for this energy work, this healing to happen. So you are in a safe energetic space, protected, held, supported. He's just clearing out the energy. So if you're carrying anybody else's emotions, anybody else's experience, anybody else's thoughts, feelings, those are being smoothed out and cleared away because they aren't yours. They don't need to be in your field. Good. Okay. So for some of you, this is just sort of a light clearing. For a few of you, there's a bigger, deeper clearing going on. It feels like some big things are being released. Good job. Okay. Okay, so now we have the violet flame coming in. It's this really beautiful violet light. It actually, I believe this is very connected to the ascension process, this particular light. So if you work with light, it can be very soothing, it can be very empowering, it can be very healing, it can help you, shift and really transform and quantum leap into something new even. And so each color light brings in a different property. And so this violet light, oh interesting. Okay. Feels like this violet light is working with our energy. So it's working in your auric field, in your energetic body, in your physical body, with your brain, the soles of your feet. And this violet light is helping each of us, we're all on our own unique path, but it's helping each of us. Okay, so it's showing me like, like on a Monopoly board, or, you know, any kind of game board. It's showing us leaping ahead a few spaces. So this violet flame, this violet light is helping us jump over a few, it feels like either jump over a few steps that maybe we don't need to take at this point, or jump over a few hurdles or a few challenges that are showing up, because those, it's almost like that part of our path isn't even needed. We can jump more quickly ahead on our path. And jump into something new. Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting. Yeah. So just breathe with this violet light. Might feel it filling your lungs, filling your heart, filling your organs, moving around your body, moving in your energy field. So this is just helping us ascend. This is helping us step into that new energy that is possible. And many of you are already in the new energy. You might not be in it all the time, but you experience it. You experience that 5D energy, that 6D energy, 7D energy. And of course, when we're in a space like this, doing a healing, a meditation like this, um, when I've asked, what I've been told is that like this is a portal into the seventh dimensional energy. So this is where we're playing right now. We're playing in that seventh dimensional energy. And so that's why these healings can be triggering for some or can kind of call up a bit of an emotional purge for other people because whatever is can't be can't exist in that energy needs to come up and leave. So that's beautiful. Sometimes the harder it is, the better it is because that's how we're stepping into something that feels better. We're stepping into you know, that love and that space of pure creation. So, yeah, so many of you are already, you know what this energy feels like. You're able to hold it now in a new way. You're able to ground it into your life in a new way. You have been, for a little while now. Um, but maybe we still kind of we're kind of teetering back and forth. I know I am I'll have times when I'm like, I know I'm in that energy. And then times when I kind of crash back down and it's just not as fun, but that's okay because that's part of the process. So this, this violet flame is going to help us be able to hold that energy more powerfully. It's almost like it's strengthening our ability to be in that energy, to hold that energy, even when the rest of the world around us doesn't seem to be in that energy. Because of course, since we hold that, it's like a rubber band. So if you're powerfully holding this energy, this vibration of love, essentially, then what's around you, this is why we feel resistance, because what's around you is not there yet. And so if there's a rubber band between us, eventually it just has to rise up. If we continue to hold it, now we can come back down and then the rubber band is happy, and so it's fine. Again, this is where the resistance and the challenge comes in. But if we really just keep showing up and holding that, and of course we can come down and then just step right back up. That's a big part of the process too. But as we hold this more and more powerfully, everything does have to come up and join us and meet us there. So that's essentially what we're doing. So yeah, this violet flame is helping. And it's done now, actually. So we can see what else wants to come through. Okay. So, actually, I'm getting that is really all that wanted to happen today. It was that clearing and that violet flame. That was the main bit of the healing. Cool. Okay, so as I just continue to check in and see if there's any more guidance or anything else that wants to show up before we complete, if you have any questions about anything I've said or had a specific experience in this healing or anything you want to share, feel free to pop it into the comments or the chat box, I guess. That's how YouTube life works. So, what else wants to come through before we close out? Oh, okay. Archangel Michael is here. What's up? Okay, he's saying you are ready. You are ready to hold this energy. You have done the work. You don't have to continue working, as hard as it feels like you have been, because the energy is supporting you now. Your higher self is has always been supporting you, but is more able to support you now because of the way the energies are shifting. So we don't have to work as hard anymore. So I will leave you with this invitation. And yes, Rita, falling asleep is great. Falling asleep is perfect because when we're asleep, so I love it when people tell me that they just pass out watching my videos because when we're asleep, we can integrate these energies more powerfully. We can receive more powerfully because, of course, when we're asleep, we drop into that space where we can heal. We drop into that, we drop out of fight flight, which many of us are in more often than not, or have been. I don't think that's the experience for most of us anymore, or for those of us on this healing. But um, when you are in that space, it's much easier to receive and to heal. So that's why we do so much powerful work during our sleep, and that's why I highly encourage naps for everybody. So yes, falling asleep is great. Okay, so I was going somewhere before I interrupted myself because I read a comment. Where was I going? It'll pop back in if it's important. Oh, here we go. Okay. I feel like the physical manifestations of it all are still forming, that we can be in the new energy before our life around us matches it. Yes, exactly. Exactly. And that's actually how it works because we hold the energy very powerfully. And it's actually in that surrender, in that trust that things are going to line up, that things are going to show up for us. That's what allows them to show up for us. So, holding that energy, and of course, that's what allows everything else. As I said before with the rubber band, it's when we really hold that energy very powerfully, even though the rubber band is like, "Ugh," it does eventually have to rise up to join us. Um, The next 6 months. Okay, I don't remember that at all. Oh, channeling. I will channel things and just completely forget what was coming through. So sometimes all the pieces don't tie up nicely. I don't know that they'd ever let me do a TED Talk. Um, so let me just check back in and see what wanted to come through. Okay, so it actually feels like there is a very warm and loving pink light coming in. So this is just to kind of help smooth out anything that might be boiling up to the surface. It's to just help you. It's like a Mother Mary hug. It's like being wrapped in a big, doesn't have to be pink. I like to be pink fluffy blanket. So it really like holds and sends you a lot of love. So we're being wrapped up in that. That's still bothering me that I can't remember where my sentence started. That's okay. Um, yeah, okay. So let's just see. I'm just getting the image and the words that we are dropping into a new space and time. We are dropping into something new. And so as we allow the change to happen, as we allow the shifts to occur, as we allow ourselves to go through whatever process it is, because of course being in this ascension process doesn't mean not feeling fear or not feeling worried or not feeling anxious. Actually, there's been a lot, especially yesterday and the day before, there was a lot of fear rising up because we were just the energy was supporting us in clearing that fear. And so the more we like almost welcome it and be like, great, hi fear, you're awesome. I have at it. Come on up and out. It's like we cleared a huge packet of fear. And so our energy just goes that much higher because that old fear that's been with us for a long time isn't there anymore. So, and that's how the energy is helping us. It will trigger us. It will kind of like poke us. And what it's doing is it's just helping us see and find those little places where we still have stuff to sort through, whether it's our own stuff or ancestral stuff or lessons that, we mostly got the first time around or second or third or fourth time around, but just need like one more repeat, one more um, Cliff's Notes read through to really fully get it. So that's part of what's happening. So, allow the whole process. It's not so much about transcending the dark and moving into the light, because of course the dark and the light are just two sides of the same coin. So it's really about being present with each and not fearing any of it. And of course, I'm the worst at that, but it's okay. It's okay. I'm learning. We're all learning. Um, because it's all just here to help us get where we're going. Everything is supporting you, whether it looks like it is or not. Everything is supporting you. Everything is helping you get where you're going. Everything is helping all of us get where we're going, because of course we all showed up on this planet at this time to do, to participate in something that does not happen all that often. The ascension of a planet is no joke. And so, people were lining up from all over to experience this, and calls were put out to like all corners of the universe to bring in, specific energies. So, we all have our own, key, and we all need to be using our keys and turning the keys for this process to fully click into place. So, that's why I do all of these, to help support the people who are, doing the work and finding your key and using your key for, to help us all do what we're here to do. So, hooray! Thank you so much for joining me live if you were here, and later if you if you catch this later. I hope this has been helpful. Feels like the energy is complete, although it feels like the energy may continue. It's going to continue working with a few of you. And that's okay. Just, drink water, take care of yourself in whatever way feels right. And yeah, so much love to you all. Thank you so much for joining me today. Yay, Ascension. Mwah. I'll see you next time.